Good morning, you corrupt douchebags. This is interesting.
Stay on the subject, Mr.
I was greeting you. So interestingly, Wendy Gruhl, today's February 2nd, which is 2-2, and she was the council member of the 2nd District, which has a crazy homeless problem now. And it didn't just start within the past 2 years. It happened on her watch. And I'm wondering why you think something's going to be different now than when she was actually the council member. But allow me to point out Ms. Gruhl's connection to a convicted felon from whom she took money, and I'm going to connect this.
Stay on the subject.
I am concerned about her being connected to a convicted felon, and I have Huffington Post articles to prove it. Don't take my time, Herb. You're going to regret it.
You just stay on the subject, okay?
So Mrs. Gruhl is on the Museum Commission, according to Huffington Post, and Fabian Wesson, who's a public figure, ran for office, is on the commission board. I am concerned that you say financial disclosure statement pending. Well, the Daily News and the Huffington Post connected Ms. Gruhl to a Charles Francoeur, from whom she took thousands of dollars of multiple donations from a man who spent 7 years in prison for swindling investors. Now, she's connected to Fabian Wesson, who's a public figure. Obviously, she's connected to Herb Wesson, and you're telling me...
Stay on the subject.
And you're telling... I'm making the connection between her and your failure to do a financial disclosure statement. And I am accusing you, Herb, and I am...
You're off the subject now, so thank you very much, Mr. Gus.
The subject...
All right, next speaker. The next speaker is Donna, followed by Sean Murphy.
Okay, anyway... Wendy Gruhl's appointment for the homelessness in CD2. What did you do for them when she was a council lady? And it's gotten even worse. Perhaps she'll resurrect CRA and have expensive built, taxpayer-paid, pretend low-income housing built for them. I'm just coding about the CRA, but we need to find a way for these people to fix their lives, not being dependent on people. Teach them a man to fish rather to teach him to fish rather than give him a fish. Let them to let them help society and get help by doing so. So I hope that you find a way, Mrs. Gruhl, to find a way to go upward and onward and not just give them a place to live and someplace they just soon will be homeless again. Thank you very much, and I'm just going to keep this down to a minute.
Okay, Mr. Murphy.
It's good to see you again, Wendy. I miss you at CD2. The homeless should have some more shelters, programs, and more. They should not hang around in the churches. I don't like getting panhandled. We should have more programs for them. Are you hearing this? More programs and stuff like that. Thank you.
Mr. Previn. Mr. Walsh. Oh, yeah. Ms. McAllister.
John Walsh at HollywoodHighlands.org, J. Walsh Confidential. What's happening here? Well, this is around the time when the candidates are announcing that they're going to run against the mayor for his second term, to prevent his second term. So the mayor has bribed Wendy Gruhl by giving her a pathetic appointment to the Homeless Service Authority so she won't run against him. This is a booby prize. I mean, Wendy Gruhl was somebody, then she ran and lost, then she ran for Congress and lost. She's a 100% loser, and now she's part of the Garcetti team. And the lowest thing you can be appointed to is the homeless services and the most corrupt. Good luck, Wendy. Who cares about her?
Well, as some of you may know, I've been a big critic of LAHSA, the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, because I think they're wasting money. And I'm happy to know that we have an insider with that kind of background. She has a strong background on the city council. I want her to be proactive, to find out where that money is going, to get out to these shelters where you'll see the workers taking advantage of the homeless, how they're not finding the homeless places to live, how they're taking the money of the homeless people. We've got downtown, they're taking all of their GR money. How can you get out of a shelter if they're taking your money and not giving it back? They're not saving it. So I'm happy to see that we have a person like Ms. Gruhl who has this kind of background, and I'm going to keep track of you and come to those board meetings. I want you to question them and go deep, and I'd like to see you head it up. Somebody with some experience and who have worked with the public and on the city council. Now, I think the mayor probably appointed her because he knows there's corruption going on in LAHSA. And LAHSA is one of the reasons why we have so many homeless people on the street. Go downtown. We should not be investing in shelters. We should be investing in housing. So I'd like to see Ms. Gruhl change this thing around, and if she does such a good job, we may get her in the mayor's office.
Mr. Previn, are you back? Mr. Previn? I don't see Mr. Previn. Then let's prepare to vote on this item. Mr. Huizar, I'll defer to you.
Mr. President, and I'm really thrilled to see this appointment on LAHSA. As you know, we are in an unprecedented time in the city and county of Los Angeles where we are working together to resolve the issue of homelessness. And it's great to see that the mayor has appointed a person with a lot of foresight, experience, and vision about how to move forward. As a controller, certainly she has a lot of experience in knowing how the numbers and financing works in this city. And as we adopt our strategic plan, one of the most critical components to that is to find the financial wherewithal to do that. So welcome, Wendy. We're certainly thrilled that the mayor has recommended you for this appointment, and we look forward to working with you in this very important time for the city and the county with respect to homelessness. Thank you.
So let me ask Ms. Gruhl to come forward now, and I'll defer to Mr. Bloomingfield.
Any questions for Ms. Gruhl, but I do want to say I'm really thrilled that you're taking this appointment. One, because you're an excellent public servant and a friend, and I know you're going to dig in and do a good job, but also because you're someone who cares about homelessness. You know, this is someone who has been to the homeless count, not just this year, last year, the last couple of years, but she goes every year. And you're someone who recognizes the diversity of homelessness and the fact that it's in the valley as well. I know when I was out this year in the West Valley, you were in the East Valley doing the homeless count. And that's important because a lot of times that gets overlooked. And you're someone who understands the totality of the issue from a citywide perspective, but you also get it from a valley perspective. So for all of these reasons, and just because of who you are and you're just a wonderful person, I'm thrilled to support your position here and your appointment.
Mr. Root.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to congratulate the appointment of Wendy Gruhl. I mean, I want to echo what Councilmember Huizar said. This is a very opportune time in history where there's historic collaboration between the city and the county. And the fact that you have such experience here in the city and with your financial background, which is going to be even more so, I think it's a great fit. Really look forward to working with you, and along with my chief of staff, who's also Supervisor Hilda Solis's appointee to LAHSA, I think we're going to be very well represented, and look forward to continued collaboration and working together. Thank you.
Mr. Bonin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Gruhl, I want to thank you for your willingness to serve. You've had a distinguished lifetime of service to the city of Los Angeles, and I'm very grateful that you're willing to take on this other chapter of service. As some of my colleagues have said, this is a very important time. There has been no more important time with all of the collaboration, but it's also an important time because we are, as a council, and the county as a board of supervisors, are really redefining what LAHSA is right now. We are taking it from a small vision to a very large vision. In the plans that the county is approving and the plans that this council is likely to approve next week, we are radically ramping up the mission and all the tasks that LAHSA needs to perform. And we really need to have someone who is experienced in both the public and the private sector to help LAHSA grow into that role and do it well. So I just thank you so much for being willing to do this.
Thank you.
Mr. Harris Dawson.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I'm so excited to be part of the process to affirm you for your participation in LAHSA. As everyone has said, homelessness as an issue is in prime time in the city of Los Angeles and in Southern California. There are very few things that are as pressing and that have the attention of the entire city and I think the entire nation. And so we're in prime time, and I'm glad we got an A-list player to help us get through this time and get to the other side where Los Angeles actually is a place where people have the reasonable expectation that human beings sleep indoors at night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Englander.
Wendy, thank you for stepping up. I mean, we talk about homelessness being at biblical proportions. It's an epidemic. Beyond statistics, forget statistics. You've got to put a face and a human face to each one of those numbers. And having somebody also from the San Fernando Valley with your experience and knowledge, proven dedication is critical because it's not just in areas of the city or the county where there's clusters anymore. It's everywhere, beyond what we've seen, I think, in our lifetime and what you bring to the table. And I think a lot of it goes back to what Councilmember Bonin said. Your multitask ability to juggle so much and yet get so much accomplished is what we truly need to bring a collaboration together. So honored that you're stepping up to help all of us out and bring that experience to the forefront. So thank you.
Thanks, Mitch.
Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, stand to support this appointment. You know, and I think it's significant. Your political lineage, of course, goes back to Tom Bradley. And this is an issue that he certainly was concerned about even then. And I know that you're going to bring your enthusiasm, energy, ingenuity to helping us craft a solution. It's a problem citywide. In the 9th District, it's the second largest population of homeless, as we've talked. And so we need your help. I think you're the right person for the right time, and we look forward to the collaboration with your colleagues, also with county supervisors, and us around the horseshoe here to really make a difference. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Mr. Koretz.
Thank you, Mr. President. I join the chorus of people who appreciate the fact that you're willing to take this on. And I think it's an important sign because this is a thorny issue we've been dealing with for decades. We finally made it our top priority front and center issue. And now that we have one of our most capable residents of the city of Los Angeles taking this on, I know that we'll move in the right direction. So I appreciate your willingness to take this role, and I know you'll have a huge impact.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Farrell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Wendy, I just want to stand up and applaud your generosity in public service all these years. You have always been a great public servant, and it's all been said in terms of why you're so qualified for this position. But now that you're volunteering to be on the board of LAHSA, I think you're an even greater public servant than you were before, because you really are putting yourself out front on this issue, and you've always, your entire adult life, have given of yourself to the city of Los Angeles. So thank you. The board is much better because of your presence on it, and I congratulate you and am happy to support you and work with you on all the issues that you'll be undertaking. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mitch.
And I do want to congratulate you in advance. We're excited about your service. I think that it should be apparent to most that this city is taking homelessness very seriously, and we know that you're going to be value added to this process. So to close, Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say, Wendy, thank you for just being who you are. I think I've known you for a long time. I think closer to 18 years we've known each other, ever since you began winning for office. And a lot of people could say a lot of things about people who run for office and sometimes are not successful. But one thing I can say about my friend Wendy is that you've never forgotten who you are, and you've always committed yourself to the Valley and to public service. And for that, I think we need to give her a big round of applause for just being who she is and continuing to serve the people of Los Angeles. I welcome you and look forward to working with you. Thank you, Wendy.
Did you want to say a word?
I will be brief. I first will say there are things I miss about the City Council, and boy, there are other things I don't miss. But more importantly, the times have changed. Some things are different than it was, 30 plus years ago, when in fact we created LAHSA. I was part of Mayor Tom Bradley's team when we sued the County of Los Angeles because we weren't talking to one another, and the outcome of that was the Joint Powers Authority of LAHSA. So the great news is that the city and county are working so well together in developing a plan, a strategic plan, and now it's time to begin that implementation. The bad news is that we have more homeless than any of us would like to see on the streets of Los Angeles. And so it really has been a passion of mine for many years, from working for Tom Bradley to being the Deputy Director of the Interagency Council on Homelessness for the Clinton administration in the 90s. So this is something that's so important. I want to thank the mayor for the opportunity to serve. We worked together on many housing issues when we served here on the City Council. And this is something that I am not just going to go and attend a few meetings, but I really am intent on utilizing this time in history to be able to work together to make sure that we can say that there are no longer the homeless on the street, that they have the options that we would like to be able to. And it's one of the toughest issues as a public servant that I ever had to deal with, and there are no easy solutions, but the city should be, I think, commended for their leadership on this, and the county, and I'm ready to roll up my sleeves, and thank you for the nice words today.
Thank you. Okay, members, let's prepare to vote. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
That is approved.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Members, I would like to request that we vote for reconsideration on item number 2. Not that it will change the outcome of the vote, but because we have an individual with us today that has had a lifetime of service for the city of Los Angeles. And I think that I'd like for us to hear a word from her. I know that Mr. Cedillo and I have kind of grown up in this business, and we've watched her move and grow, and anytime there's a good cause, you don't have to look far behind to see Bobby Jean Anderson. So if I could get a vote on reconsideration on item 2, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
And Miss Bobby Jean Anderson, please come to the center table. And Mr. Cedillo, I'm going to call on you to say a few words.
Well, as you indicated, we have grown up with this fine young woman. And I just want to say thank you, Bobby, because you have always been in my corner. What a great, raucous, illustrious, tumultuous time we had at Local 660. LA County Employees Association, SEIU, and you were always there for me. You were always there for me in all my subsequent careers in the Assembly, Senate, and my efforts here in the Council. So I just want to say thank you. You are, as someone once said in the Capitol, you're a helper, and we help people. And you know, we don't really think much about what needs to be done. We just know what needs to be done. We do what's right, and we know what's wrong, and we just do it. And sometimes we push a little too much, but that's how we get things done. And so I just want to say thank you. You've been a great civic leader, but more than that, you've been a very, very dear friend. And so I just want to thank you so much. I remember my wife was so fond of you for all the great support that that you gave me. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
Mr. Harris Dawson.
Mr. President, and thank you, Ms. Bobby Jean Anderson, a longtime activist in our community, and I'm very proud today because this is the first person I get to vote to confirm who is a resident of Council District 8. So I'm very excited, but not just a resident of Council District 8, someone who's been on the right side of a righteous fights for as long as I can remember, going back to the construction of the 105 freeway when Caltrans wanted to shortchange a lot of the residents of South LA when they were declaring an eminent domain, all the way up to the issues of today. And so I can't think of a better person to represent the cause of justice, freedom, and equality on the Human Relations Commission than you today. And so we're proud to support you, and thank you again on behalf of all the residents of Council District 8.
Thank you, Councilman.
Mr. Rue.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support of Ms. Bobby Jean Anderson. I know I said a few words at the Arts, Parks, and Rivers Committee, but I just want to really thank you for your service. I mean, you are a perfect fit for the Human Relations Commission. Your years of service, not just in the Democratic Party, but work in alcohol, drugs, poverty issues, I mean, just in the South LA community and all over, is much appreciated. And thank you again for your service, and look forward to working with you in the Human Relations Commission.
Thank you, David.
Mr. Koretz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, we've known each other for around 40 years. I hate to admit it, but we've been on the LA County Democratic Central Committee. I've been on there off and on for 40 years, and you've done incredible work there and pushed important issues and progressive causes and done the same thing throughout the community. You're a star in the 8th District, but you're really a star throughout the city and throughout the county, and you've accomplished so much, and this is the perfect commission for you to be on. I know you will get a lot done here too, and thank you for your willingness to serve, not only now but for all these years.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too, Bobby, just want to congratulate you. Certainly you have been an activist for many years in our community, fighting for what you believe is the right thing to do and the right way to do it, and so we just appreciate your enthusiasm. I know you're going to make an outstanding contribution to the Human Affairs Commission. It's something that is very important, impacting the quality of life, as you know. And so congratulations, and keep up the good work, and we look forward to working with you in this exciting new capacity of service.
Thank you.
And I just want to take a moment to echo the sentiments of my colleagues and to say there are dozens of committees that you could be an asset to or for, but I think you were born to be a member of Human Relations. I think it's in your nature. I think it's who you are, and we're all excited since we already voted for you once. But I want to give you, I'm pretty sure we're going to vote for you again, but we want to give you an opportunity to say a couple of words if you like. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President and City Council. Thank all of the councilmen who gave those kind words. You said it correctly. I believe that this commission is a perfect fit for me, and vice versa. I have a long history of service. I come from a family of people who serve, and that's basically what I'm all about. When I read up on the commission and what it was about, what struck me most was that one of the statements in there is that the core mission of this commission is to advocate on behalf of marginalized people, special needs people, people who have no voices. This is what I do on a daily basis and have done for most of my life, notwithstanding politics, but my basic whole idea is to be of service to people. And so with that, I appreciate the mayor's appointment to this commission. And for the first time, I've served on several commissions, but for the first time, I do believe that this is a perfect fit for me, as you have said, an eye for it. So thank you for this opportunity to speak today.
Thank you. Okay, with that said, let's vote on her again. Let us open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, that is approved. If we could come into the back, Mr. Harris Dawson, Mr. Price, if we could go in the back.
All right, we'll go ahead and take item 26, council members.
And, Mr. President, there is a substitute motion that has been circulated for item 26.
Very well. And do we have cards on 26?
No, sir.
Okay.
That's a two-vote item, the first on whether to substitute.
Correct. And so we'll go ahead and open the roll on the substitution, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
Great. That is approved. Next item, please.
The matter is now before you, sir.
All right. We'll go ahead. Oh, sorry. Open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
Next item.
Mr. President, that would bring us to item 30, called Special for Cards.
All right. We'll go ahead and take the cards on item 30. Donna?
There seems to be a lot of money here on the funding advance of $200,000 the reserve fund to fund number 168. Anyway, that says the funding required for the complete program estimated to exceed $800,000 requires approximately $310,000 above the Strategy Growth Council grant review. Difference is $310 allotted through money is set aside for Measure R. Wow, I don't see where this coming from on Measure R. Why this manifested as CEQA has something to do with Measure R, which is already not working very well, bringing all these silly high-speed rail projects and not fixing the normal buses. So this is, to me, seems to be another way to waste money, but then again, that's what the city council likes to do. So correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, it was a nice presentation on Wendy Grew and Bobby Jean Ender. She was almost city council of 8. This item 30, I think we're spending too much money on it. I think you should not spend so much money on the item. I'm against it.
Dan? Please stay on the subject matter.
One minute only. Thank you for finding my card today. I am concerned that environmental funds the city gets are not applied to the things that they're supposed to be spent on. The LA Times yesterday talked about the failure of the environmental policies in the harbor. So the question, by the way, 1 minute only, please, Mr. Englander. The LA Times outlined your failure to enact pollution standards in the harbor. And if you're getting all this money, the question is, why aren't you actually using it wisely and efficiently and effectively? I think these things where you're constantly dodging CEQA guidelines is bad, and fuck Mitch Englander.
Thank you for your kind words. You were off topic. I just wanted to mention that on that last part. John Walsh.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org or tweeting at Hollywood Dems or at J. Walsh Confidential. My favorite part of this item is where it says, this is relative to actions to be taken by the city in anticipation of the state's adoption of amended CEQA guidelines. That means gutted CEQA guidelines, so that they can turn the entire goddamn state into what Hollywood looks like. In fact, the anticipation, forget about anticipation. That's for ketchup coming out of a bottle. Let's wait to see whether Brown gets his bill through the legislature, which will gut CEQA and allow God knows what.
Ruth?
There are a couple of articles today that I would suggest you read. One is that the port terminal misses the mark on air pollution. TRAPAC fell short of such mandates as ensuring that ships use the shore-based power. It's very important. It's part of the pledge for climate change issues, and if we keep skirting and doing things the same old way, we have a problem.